is the DallasCowboys.com Draft Show.
The Cowboys are on the clock.
Your war room for insider news and draft analysis from deep within the confines of Cowboys headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
The Dallas Cowboys select Leighton Vander Esch.
And now, your hosts, Dane Brugler, David Hellman, and Brian Broaddus.
Well, we welcome you once again to the Draft Show from the SWBC Mortgage Studios. 28 days until we convene in Nashville, Tennessee to start the process of trying to make our football team better. Brian Broaddus here with my scouting buddies, Dane Brugler, David Hellman, Kent Garrison, executive producing. Gentlemen, it's getting close.
Slowly but surely.
Couple
man.
weeks.
I
Hard
don't
to
know
believe.
how that happened.
I know. It sneaks up on you. I mean, give me another month to work on these guys.
You need another month?
You don't need another month. You could do it tomorrow.
Well, no, I could do it tomorrow, but this is the time of year where, you know, the pro day numbers are coming in.
Oh, yeah. You're
some
looking
intriguing
at
guys, some athletes. You're looking at, guys from Sam Houston State. And
Did you chase that kid from Prairie View A&M the other day?
yeah, Bell.
Yeah.
He's,
How about the tape is not as good as the workout?
yeah,
Did
which
you get
is
that feeling?
foreseeable because he killed his workout.
He did kill that workout.
But yeah, I mean, this is the time of year where I literally run into schools that I've never heard of before.
Alderson Broaddus?
Yeah, there's that one. Where was I ran into a school yesterday that
Ali Marpet?
listen to this school. Tell me if you ever heard of this school. Southwest Assemblies of God.
Who are you?
I don't believe you.
It's an NAIA school.
Oh, SAGU?
SAGU, yes, exactly.
No, I've heard of that. I did not know they had athletics.
That's the voice of Kent Garrison, folks.
Kent's
I went to a
yeah.
private, like basically religious school growing up.
Yeah.
So I think that's what that is. But I did
It's-
not know they had athletics. That surprises me.
It's SAGU, yeah. I know. I looked it up and I had to figure out what SAGU meant. But
Let me ask you this.
They have a quarterback.
They have a quarterback?
Yeah, C.J. Collins. He's all right.
C.J. Collins. All right. Tell me more. C.J. Collins.
Let's go.
From this Christian school.
He's 6'3", 210, pretty good athlete.
Transfer from somewhere? Family mission guys?
I don't know the back. I just know the tape.
Okay.
I haven't done any background on him yet. Just watch the tape. Well, I saw the numbers.
Slipping, Brugler.
Yeah, I know. That's why I need another month. The tape or the numbers intrigued me, so I went and watched the tape. And he's got an arm and he can make throws on the run. He's got some instincts to him.
What kind of scheme?
What did they run? There was a shotgun spread, little zone read mixed in there. So,
Okay.
it's just so.
Sounds like he's got measurables.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, he looks like he'd be fine at a bigger school, but it's just you wonder why he's there. It's just funny because this time of year, I mean, you look throughout the NFL, it's full of guys from
Absolutely.
FCS,
Great
Division
stories.
II.
Great stories.
Yeah, and guys that slip through the cracks, and that's how priority free agents, late round guys. That's how you fill out the back end of your roster, and sometimes you hit on some of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of hit on this roster, I want to get in today a couple of different things. Of course, we're always going to have our staple, Twitter on the 20. We appreciate that. We always appreciate you getting your questions into David Hellman. I'll maybe grab a two off Periscope. Always appreciate our Periscope folks kind of following along with us, too. That's a quick way to interact with us. But I want to get into a couple different things. I want to kind of go through who potentially for the Cowboys could be there at 58. I want to talk about those names. I would like to kind of maybe put a little roadmap out there.
Try to narrow it down a
I'm
little
going
bit.
to try and narrow it down a little bit.
I'm
going to try and narrow it down a little bit. I think there's a lot of people out there that are kind of throwing names, and there might be – I'm starting to see some mock drafts that people are sending me. I know you guys get the same thing from all the fans, and you look and you're thinking, you're around early, you're around late. So I want to kind of get some clarity, if we can, from the draft show on who might be there at 58. And if you're one of those teams that's right around when the Cowboys are picking there at 58, I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles at 57. I'm talking about the Colts at 59, the Chargers at 60, Kansas City at 61. These are guys that you're potentially going to be looking at. So if you're a fan of one of those teams or your team is picking in that range, we just want to give you a little bit of idea who you might look at. The second part of this, as we finish up this show, not telling me more or anything like that or what am I missing, but I want to get into a possibility of maybe if we don't like what we're seeing, trading back.
You want to do your broadest stuff.
I like to do my broadest stuff where I like.
You don't like to pick where the league wants you to pick.
I don't. I like to pick. I like picks.
Rebel.
Right. But I also want to go. There's a couple of spots I would like to go to see if you guys would be interested. And maybe after we have the conversation here, we can kind of determine that, yes, we would like to move back, or no, Brian, we need to sit right where we are and need to pick these players. So there's a couple of teams, actually 3 teams behind you. And I'll give you a little tease. Kansas City, New England, and Arizona are 3 places I'm looking at right now. And I'm going to see if I can convince you guys to maybe move that direction if we have to, okay?
I like it.
All right, Dane Brugler, you've got your top 100. You've got this thing kind of wired. I'm going to have my top 50 up here pretty soon. I've got a lot of things that we're working on, trying to finish this thing out. Give me an idea. And we've talked about some positions that can stretch. We've talked about the defensive line position, maybe the tackle, the end. We've talked about safety. We've talked about wide receivers. We potentially talked about tight ends. Let's go through position by position, and let's kind of give a little cluster of names that you might have, and I'll see if if you and I agree on where these names need to be. Okay. Let's start with the defensive ends, if you could, at 58.
Defensive ends. So Jalen Ferguson is going to be an interesting player to watch.
Okay, this is a potential Dallas 30 visit guy.
Right.
So, yeah.
The Cowboys have interest.
Absolutely, they do.
We've that much is clear. With Jalen Ferguson, who's the NCAA's all-time leader in sacks, we've talked about him before. A Senior Bowl guy, couldn't go to the combine, had a rough pro day, at least in the short area, agility drills. Because, I thought he could have been a top 40, top 50 pick. Now maybe he is there at 58. Okay. I think he's somewhere in the top 75. So I think he's somewhere in that mix. I think he's going to be in the conversation at 58 for you. He's in, the 3 cone should give you pause, but
yes, we talked about that last week. The 808.
He's a speed to power guy. He's not necessarily a dip, bend, and go around you guy. So, I think there's at 58, it's not bad value.
You know what? I would think that he would be there for you at 58 because I have a 3rd round grade on him. Okay. So I'm thinking that you're probably are you more straight 2 or 2-3 there on that?
I gave him a late 2.
Okay.
I have him and Collier kind of in the same. LJ Collier from TCU.
Is another name worth knowing.
Yeah, that's probably we're going to get to
as
next.
Much as we liked LJ Collier, he had his at the combine. He had a 7.71 in the 3 cone.
Right.
So he was below average as well, and that's not too far off than what Jalen Ferguson did.
And these are pass rushers too.
He hasn't had his pro day. I don't.
Not yet.
No.
TCU is always like the first week in April.
We need to skate over there and eat some barbecue after that, by the way.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe check out the pro day too.
Yeah, that's what
so I think LJ Collier to that point is also in that mix. Okay. If we're talking pass rushers, Jalen Ferguson, LJ Collier, and then if we want to, Zach Allen from Boston College.
Yeah,
is he? If we want to consider him an end over being a tackle, he's kind of in that Tyrone Crawford mold. Who, Zach Allen's 6'4", 280.
Yes,
5'00" athlete. Not going to. Test overly well. We know that, but
position flex is what we're talking about there.
Strong run defender. He's an instinctive kid. He can drop and play in space, and you feel okay with him. So I think those 3 names would be the main ones I'd be talking about at 58.
Zach Allen, I have him as a solid 2, and then now you start to look at and I also have Collier right there in the 2. If I had to pick a guy, okay, of the 3, Ferguson, Collier, and Allen. This is asking a question I probably know the answer to already. Who do you like as the best pass rusher, the pure pass rusher, Dave? You have a guy in mind of those 3 guys that you think might be the best pass rusher of this group?
I'm going to not so much my own evaluations. I have watched him, but I know from doing my job that the Cowboys like Collier.
Right.
And so I lean toward him. If you think he's there, that's a question for you. That's what I was going to get is, you talk about 2, 3.
Yeah.
And we always love to say, well, this pick is really more like a 3rd because it's
late.
It's 6 picks away from the end of the round.
No question.
So how realistic specifically, so you're telling me specifically Collier and Allen, you think there's a better chance that they're gone?
I think a better chance of Ferguson, probably not Ferguson being gone. Collier, it seems like to me that he would be the guy that would be gone as we talk about those teams ahead of the Cowboys picking.
It's tough with pass rushers.
Yeah, you're looking at teams. Okay, if you look at the order ahead of you, Philadelphia at 53, and then you go Houston back to back at 54 and 55. New England now in the mix at 56. Philadelphia back at you at 57. Those are teams that always kind of look at those kind of rush guys like that.
Are you saying it's different, much like quarterback is like teams will grab these guys out of whack if they feel like they have to?
Exactly. And I think, okay, we just look at overall at the edge rush position. The top 6 guys are going to be off the board in the top 20 picks.
Yeah.
Bosa, Allen, Montez Sweat, Rashawn Gary, Brian Burns, Cleveland Farrell. Okay. And those 6 guys will be off the board pretty quickly. And then that's where it becomes a little muddy. Where's Jachai Polite go from Florida?
Yeah, that's the next question I have, because Polite continues to do things to not make me want to draft him.
Right. And it's funny because, the timeline of Polite, you get excited about the tape in the fall, talk to scouts who tell me there's some character stuff.
Yeah.
And I put that out there. Florida fans are killing me. Like, what are you talking about? He's never been arrested.
Yeah.
His teammates love him.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, I don't know. I've just been told there's some stuff there. And since the end of the season, that's all we've seen.
Welcome
is
to the party, right?
Bumping his toe and not doing the right things. And he's overweight. He's not taking it seriously. There's immaturity concerns. So it's anybody's guess where Jachai Polite's going to fall. I mean, he could potentially be there at 58. And if that's the case, you have to. It's a Randy Gregory situation, not for the same reasons.
God,
but
this is going to kill me to say that. You know me, I like the guy that's kind of a little nuts.
Yeah, you do. I don't know why.
But you know what? At 58, I'd consider this guy. God, that sounds terrible to say.
Polite?
Yeah. Is it you're gritting your teeth, Dave?
I mean, we haven't said anything good about the guy since we started doing this show.
He'll be available. No, the tape's good.
Tape's good.
Top 15 worthy, but if he's available at 58, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. It's kind of like what Randy Gregory available at 60.
Right. Again, different reasons why they each would fall, but still, there's reasons why he would fall and reasons to be concerned.
Okay, give me a defensive tackle at 58.
Well, it's funny. On my top 100 board, number 58 exactly is Draymond Jones from Ohio State.
See, now people a little nervous about that.
Why?
I think he plays very high. I think he's a guy. His first step is straight up,
Upright.
and then upright, and then sorry, that's bad to
Clarity.
say. Clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity is always good in the war room. I think when his first step being straight up, a vertical player, but then he's so athletic to make up for that hiccup that he has in technique or a technique flaw. You know, so you kind of see him get washed. Sometimes I hate that when defensive linemen get washed. I'm not really sure though how strong he is. I think he's a slippery guy. But, I mean, a 3 technique, that's what you want. You want a guy to get up the field, get in the gap. I think he can do that.
Yeah,
but I just worry about that initial step being straight up. Mm-hmm. And then that messes with your pad level. That messes with your hands.
You can coach that, right, though?
I hope so. I hope so.
That's a technical issue that you would hope you'd be able to coach out of him because he's a really good athlete. And
no question about that.
And he didn't test overly well. I was surprised.
No.
But he's on tape. He's a guy that his background. He's a former basketball player. Goes to Ohio State, and he was a game wrecker. Ask TCU fans.
Oh no, they're showing clips of that right now. Kent Garrison all over that. If you're watching along with us,
interception, pick 6. I mean, he was constantly in the backfield. As soon as Nick Bosa went out in that game with injury, Draymond Jones took over. So there's a lot to like about him. But again, another guy who's gonna, if he's available at 58, it'll be for a reason, and it's for exactly what you said.
Yeah.
He plays upright. He has struggles in the run game, and even when he finds the ball in the run game. It's too easily blocked.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't have the strength to overcome that. And
right.
18 on the bench press. Now, bench press isn't always the best indicator of play strength,
right.
but it matches up. Well, he has only 18 on the bench, and he's not the strongest guy in the field, so it makes sense.
Dave, a 1 or a 3 here?
I would say 3.
Yeah. No, a 1 or a 3 if you're looking at defensive tackles for the Cowboys.
3 always.
Okay.
Like this team has made it so clear that they're not interested in investing in space eaters, and it's kind of hard to argue with them when Antoine Woods was plucked off the scrap heap and played so well.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
and they got Covington. They signed from the Texans. Who's going to play the 1?
He's got a sneaky good resume for a guy that plays the 1. I
that's
mean,
good. Yeah.
You look at his stat. You're always looking at tackles for loss, sacks.
Yeah.
His numbers are pretty good for a guy that's really not asked to play that position. It's the 3 techniques and the edge rushers that get those stats, and he was doing it as a 3-4 end.
Let me ask you this, though. Lawrence from Clemson, is that a stretch at 58? And what Dave just told me is they probably wouldn't take him at 58.
I think it's a stretch not only that he gets there, but also that they would want him, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't think he's going to make it that far.
You think he's in the 40 range?
I think he could go first round. Because he's such a freak. I I need more production out of those guys. But Vita Vea went 13 overall.
13. You're right. Yeah.
So,
and you were on Vita Vea as far as I'm not too sure of this.
Yeah, I like him. I like the traits, but I need more production if I'm taking a defensive tackle that early.
I don't want to backtrack too much, but I notice we didn't mention Anthony Nelson out of Iowa. Yeah. Is that because we don't think he'll be there, or we don't think he's worth a pick?
I think he's more of a third round guy myself.
I have a 2-3 on him, a late 2, early 3. He's right there in that mix.
Oh, so he'd be in the mix for Dane.
To go back to Dane's point, if you want Anthony Nelson, you probably aren't getting him at 90.
Dane's trying to tell you got to go around early here, I believe.
I actually have him above Zach Allen.
Okay.
Oh, your pet cat.
Zach Allen?
Yeah.
I think he's the pet cat of the organization.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking forward to seeing these 30 visits and seeing if Zach Allen's on that list.
I bet he will be.
Yeah, it'd be kind of surprising if he isn't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, how about the safeties?
Safeties. Now, this is another one that's kind of tough because the first safety might not come off the board until, after pick 25. So between pick 25 or 26 and 58, how many safeties are going to be off the board? Adderley, even though he hasn't been able to work out because he's been dealing with an ankle, which brings up an interesting debate. Like, should he have rested the ankle and not played in the Senior Bowl?
Yeah.
Or should he,
give him credit for playing the Senior Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah, and I thought he helped himself in Mobile.
Sure.
So, it's debatable. Taylor Rapp and Jonathan Abram, 2 players that we know the Cowboys are interested in. I don't think either one are going to make it out of the top 40.
30 visit guy, though, too, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're going to go up in this draft, we're going to have to go up a little bit, right, to get a guy like that?
Right.
I wrote about this like a week ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, is you can learn a lot by the 30 visits, but like when we say they do their homework, they really do. Like if you go back 5 years, like there's always guys on these lists that are out of their range. With the one exception, no, not even true, because so the year they picked 4th, they brought in damn near every guy that went in the top 10.
Sure.
They also brought in guys that didn't go till, the back end of the first round.
Oh, no, they're covering their bases.
You got to, they could be bringing in Rapp and Abram fully understanding that that's a pipe dream. But you still want to do your homework on those guys because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Possible trade-up target?
I'd take either one of those cats, though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. At any point in the second round, I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. It's just after that, okay, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from Florida, Deontay Thompson, Alabama.
Let me ask you this.
Juan Thornhill.
Okay, Gardner-Johnson, did I see a tweet from you? Some people are not sure where they're going to play him?
Not for me, no.
Okay, maybe someone was talking about that. Scouts are not sure if they're going to play him at corner or play him at safety.
See, and I'm sure there's some concern about that around the league, but I've talked to some scouts who say I've seen him play free safety. I'm seeing him
you
play
can watch
nickel.
a whole season in 2017 of him playing safety.
Yeah. Would you feel comfortable drafting him at 58?
I would, yeah.
Just on talent.
Yeah, on talent alone, absolutely.
Then that's fine because this team might need cornerbacks next year anyway, and they definitely need a safety.
Well, that's a great observation.
Bring him on, and we'll
the owners'
figure
meeting
out.
did some good for you. That Arizona air did some good for you.
You saying I wasn't smart before?
I question that sometimes.
You.
Yeah. You and I did go to the same school, 25 years apart, though.
Bring him on, and we'll figure out what to do with him later.
Yeah. I'll be on board with that. I mean, there's going to be a glut of these safeties in that mix because I think you have like a guy like Darnell Savage from Maryland who
I like him.
The only thing not to like about him is really just the size. He's not the biggest guy.
But him, Thornhill. I mean, there's a group. There's a glut. I mean, you talk about in the top ones: Adderley, Rapp, Abram. Thompson, where's he going to go? Alabama Thompson.
Hopefully he's able to run and work out April 2nd.
The wrist has been a problem for him. And then Thornhill, Gardner-Johnson, Savage. I mean, there's a good group of safeties there.
I've got Amani Hooker in that group, too, from Iowa.
Oh, you do?
Is Deontay Thompson...
Gant from Marshall, myself, yeah.
Is Deontay Thompson like the classic guy that gets lost in the wash and then, we hear his name real early because teams tend to know more about this than the media? Or no? Or am I giving him too much credit? Because we're not talking about him at all. And he was a guy,
I didn't think we were talking about Adderley enough. I know not for here, but I'm just saying overall.
I feel like we don't talk about him because we just assume he's not a possibility.
Well, there was a time where Thompson, when we first got into this, there was a time where Thompson was the top guy.
Yeah, I think media, a lot of people in the media were way too high on Thompson.
Yeah.
Talking about now. And after the first month of the season, maybe a top 10 pick the way he's playing. But you watch him in October and November, and his play clearly tailed off a little bit. So, he's not a top 10 guy, but he's still talented. Yeah. It's just trying to figure out what to do with him. He's not the biggest guy, and that's going to be a big question because he's over 6'1", he's only 195 pounds. Was he going to run? How's he going to test? Deontay Thompson's going to be an interesting one to follow because he could easily slip to outside the top 50 picks. Yeah. And if he does,
yeah, you got a decision to make right there. All right, real quick, we're going to get to the wide receivers here for a couple minutes. Dallas bringing in Hall from Missouri, right?
Bringing in another guy too. So that's what they say.
Who you got?
The word on the streets, they're bringing in Debo.
Okay, well, Debo too. You're absolutely right about that. But Hall, Dane, starting to hear some whispers.
Well, Hall's interesting because he's not the typical wide receiver that we thought they'd be looking for.
God, he could snatch it, though.
We thought they'd be looking for more of a slot guy, right?
Right.
He's more of your your outside guy, and like speed to burn. I mean, there's no question about that.
Routes are impressive to watch.
Yeah, he'll get behind the defense. He'll stack corners with ease, accelerate, decelerate on command. It's just with him, and he's a top 100 talent, no question.
Right.
But you just we worry about his ability to stay on the field.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of lower body muscle injuries, his groin, his hamstring, things like that.
You're killing me now, Dane.
Teams, they question his competitive toughness. Can he tough it out? And a lot of times in Missouri, he wasn't able to do that. And so I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still available on day 3, if he makes it to the 4th round. But the Cowboys, if they're interested, late 3rd, that would make some sense for them.
Dave Hellman, Derek Dooley, offensive coordinator at Missouri. You think the calls are going back and forth there on this young man?
I would assume so. I mean, he didn't leave here with bad relationships, I would imagine.
Yeah.
The Cowboys love to call Nick Saban to ask for his opinions about
absolutely.
guys. So, why not give Derek a call?
And that's what these top 30, and by the way, I hate saying top 30 because it's not top 30 players. It's just 30 players.
30 players.
They're 30 invite guys. It's a chance to get to know these guys better.
Absolutely.
There's no workouts.
Yeah.
It's literally sitting down with coaches, getting to know them better, talking about X's and O's, but also about life and what they're all about. So that's why you're bringing in a player like Emmanuel Hall who has some of these question marks. You can get some medical stuff done. You can get the interviews done. You can show them throughout the building and just get to know the person a little bit better.
Let them have breakfast with Dave and I.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Anything more other than the medical stuff that I'm worried about him? Any off-the-field stuff that I need to know about?
Well, I think the off-field, it all comes into the same, like, does he care enough?
The toughness, care, pride.
Is he going to push himself? Is he going to be a guy that's, loves football enough? He's a track guy.
Yeah.
And so does he love football enough where he's going to really push himself and be a grinder? And that's the biggest question with him.
All right. Very good. Well, I appreciate you guys, all the insight right there. Okay, when we come back, we'll hit you with some Twitter on the 20. Stay tuned.
Kaboo Texas is 3 days, 6 stages, over 100 artists, including The Killers, Lionel Richie, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Miss Lauryn Hill, Kid Rock, Alanis Morissette, Little Big Town, the Avett Brothers, Counting Crows, Pitbull, Sting, the Black Eyed Peas, and the list goes on. Don't miss Kaboo Texas. Single day and 3-day passes are on sale now. Visit KAABOOTexas.com to get your passes today.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
You want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit. just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. Surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean. Fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Hey everyone, it's Ed Cahill, co-founder of The Draft Show, and it's time for Twitter on the 20.
Twitter on the 20.
Take it away, Johnny J.
I always cut him off. I'm so sorry, Eddie. Thank you so much.
Real quick, I want to say hello out there again to all the people on Periscope. And I also want to say hello to our buddy, our scouting buddy, Stephen Thomas, who's listening to us in Paris, France right now. Good to have you on board, sir, Steve. As always. And we always appreciate all our friends overseas as well and everybody around the world. So. Hi. Yeah, thanks, Chuck.
Kelsey, too.
Go for it, David Hillman.
All right, we'll start. We'll jump right in with, well, it's not really news. It's what we would call fake news from MD. He says, with the trade rumors involving Byron Jones and Jordan Lewis, is there a cornerback in the draft that Dallas would be eyeing? What would compensation be for either of those two players? Can they afford to pay Byron next year?
And to be honest with you, the trade rumors are false. You're absolutely right.
Those rumors are bupkis.
Yeah, there were a couple rumors that Byron Jones was on the block, and then also that Jordan Lewis was on the block as well.
I will, just in the interest of making interesting radio, though, like, teams lie. And just because that could be completely false today and could be completely true 2 days before the draft.
Right.
I don't really buy it.
Right now, they're not on the trading block.
Right.
Put it that way.
Yeah. I don't really buy it. I don't. To answer the question, like, I don't like, what are you going to get for Jordan Lewis, really? No offense to him. But again, like, players lose value as soon as they turn into players instead of draft picks.
Pick 140.
You get
from Arizona.
Nothing.
Fifth round
pick for Jordan Lewis. Would you do that?
Well, if you're not going to use him.
Yeah. What about Byron? See, I wonder if you could get maybe a second-round pick.
Yeah, I think that would be more down the line because you got some flexibility if people think they've seen him play corner, they've seen him play safety. Maybe it's an opportunity to add a guy that, if you feel like that. But we keep talking. Dane just did a great job of telling me, hey, there's plenty of safeties there. And if we got to it, he would tell me there's plenty of corners there, too.
Yeah.
That's the problem you run into.
It strikes me as a trade that you wouldn't do before the draft because then you're basically saying,
we're drafting a corner.
We have to have a cornerback.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem smart.
But you used the word sneaky.
It's a sneaky need.
It's a sneaky need. Stephen Jones told us at the Combine, he goes, corner is a sneaky need for this football team.
Anthony Brown's out of contract next year. So is Byron as of right now. I wonder if they'll have the money to pay Byron when it's all said and done with all these other contracts they got to do.
No question. There's also, you get Chris Richard sneaking out, working guys out. Worked out Vanderbilt, Joanne Williams.
Okay, you guys know it. I love a segue. Paul says, I know cornerback is a sneaky need. Would you take one at 58? And if so, who you like?
See, that's one of the ones we didn't dive into.
Well, because it's not flashing like a neon sign. Like they need one, but they could.
All right, you got to kind of think of traits, right, Dane?
58 feels rich for me. To take a cornerback, even knowing
especially when there's a bunch of guys stacked in there in the third round, you kind of like too, right?
I don't see. Corner might be the most appealing though, just from who's their standpoint. Like they're probably get wiped out at safety.
Yeah,
might get wiped out. Talk about the defensive lineman that could be there. If those positions aren't looking as strong, but you have Joanne Williams there.
Yeah,
Isaiah Johnson,
he's just naming guys that have length. Those tall, long guys, and that's smart.
The word coming out of Houston is that Isaiah Johnson hurt himself today. Huh?
He did on his bench. He didn't bench at the Combine. Bench today. He said he's going to be okay, but we'll wait and see and get a.
No, Brian, it'll push him down the board.
Yeah.
We'll get him in the fifth when he should go in the second. It's fine.
One of my favorites, Sean Bunting from Central Michigan.
Not a bad player.
I'd love him at 58. I'd take him in a heartbeat.
58. Okay.
Heartbeat.
Man, I went.
You got him way down your board.
No.
I edited your write-ups for the magazine. I saw it.
No. Did you That one you did?
I did.
No.
Go ahead and tell me more. It's fine.
No, I tell you what, I wasn't that negative on him.
He was at the end of the list.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying though. He was towards the bottom of the guys, but I mean Dane is not wrong about him. I'm gonna admit this one. He is not wrong about this kid.
Where do you have him?
Going back, I had him in the second round. The bottom of the second round is where I had him. Actually, so let me see what my notes.
I stand corrected.
You sure that was my guy? Because I had him.
It's fine. It's okay.
I'm sorry, my notes here it's taking forever to get to my notes.
Bunting's he's over 6 foot. He's 195 pounds. He's a cover and clobber type of guy where he's going to get physical and press. He can shadow routes. He can run better routes than receivers can, and he's a former wide receiver himself. So I'm a believer in Sean Bunting. I think he's going to be in that top 50 mix. If he's there at 58, no brainer.
He's a guy that people had a hard time getting away from him. Is kind of what I saw.
Yeah, he attaches himself to routes, and that's it.
That's kind of where I was thinking, I can't get my thing to work the right way, David. I'm sorry about this.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I just remember him and a lot of and they played some pretty good competition where he had some opportunity to play against some good guys. Yeah, and he wasn't
Kentucky. If I remember watching the Kentucky tape,
right? Was it Michigan State?
Michigan State. Yep.
Yeah, I have him in the bottom of the second round for me.
Fire up chips. All right, I feel guilty. We're not going to tell me more today, so I'm going to read a couple of these off from some fans. John wants y'all to tell him more about Justin Hollins, the edge rusher out of Oregon. There we go.
This is a guy that Rod Marinelli really likes.
I really like him too, and Arlington Martin guy. Myles Garrett on one side, Justin Hollins on the other side.
It's a pretty nice combo.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. He's more of a conversion guy. He's that stand-up edge rusher. Where that's what he did at Oregon, and so he would drop in space, he'd rush off the edge. I think he's a terrific player. I think he's a terrific athlete. Love his first step. He's got some length to him. 6'5", 250. I'm a believer in Justin Hollins, and so if I can get him in the fourth round, yeah.
Yeah, I got tipped off again. One of the great things about working in this building is the fact that you get to visit with people. And Rod Marinelli came up to me. He says, "Hey, you seen this Hollins kid?" And I said, "No, I haven't, Coach." He says, "Please take a look at him for me." With 6'5", 248, 4.44 is what I had on the speed for him.
4.50.
4.50?
Still good.
Okay, well, that's with the speed. I mean, this guy is like, you talk about some initial quickness off the snap. I'm just looking at my notes again. He gets up the field, can extend the blocker. I can tell by the way he moves, he's got some bend to him. Mm-hmm. So that's where, even for a guy you think is a linebacker, or potential linebacker already plays, when you watch him play, he's got that ability to like I say, to bend.
706 on a 3 count.
Yeah, there you go. And then, he will take on blocks on the edge, hold his own. I thought he stayed a nice job. So I use the word slippery through cracks and gaps. Plays with some intelligence is what I saw. Didn't get fooled on any of his assignments. I like the redirection skills of this kid too. Was something. So yeah, I believe
you give him?
I put him in the third round.
Okay, good.
Is what I did. So yeah, absolutely. If you want a guy that is you watch him on tape as a linebacker. No, he's got some edge rush ability to himself, so I'm all for this guy.
I hope I got this name right, and if I don't, I'm sorry. Aditya says, this is a great follow on Twitter. That's almost all I know about him. But Eastern Michigan's Max Crosby. Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
You're getting in this thing, huh?
6'5", 255, really good athlete. He's an angular athlete. He's a lot of arms and limbs and, coming at you. He needs time in an NFL strength and conditioning program. Like, he needs time to bulk up, get stronger. But he's a local kid. Colleyville, I believe, right? Yeah, Colleyville. So I know he's a guy that the Cowboys are interested. They're trying to get him to the Dallas Day. So
come on down.
I think he's going to work out for the Cowboys before the draft. He's to me in that. If the Cowboys want him, they probably have to take him in the third round because I don't think he's going to be around for him in the fourth.
Yeah.
He's in that.
I don't like that.
Third, fourth pass rush range, along with Justin Hollins, along with some of these other pass rushers.
So I can't get him with one of my comp picks.
I would take Hollins over him, by the way.
You would?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. But Dane's right about the kid.
Outside the box thinking here from Marcus.
Love that.
I think we're all fans on this program of Jalen Hurd.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Baylor slot receiver.
Matter of fact, he's on our cover of our magazine.
He sure is.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Marcus says, could he possibly pull double duty here? Got a running back history at Tennessee, or is that just firmly behind him?
I think it's behind him.
I'd say it's behind him, too.
I think so.
I like run after catch, though.
It's fun to think about, though.
Yeah.
After that,
he looks like a damn running back when he gets the ball.
Absolutely.
Gazelle out there.
Yeah.
Can he stay healthy? We haven't seen him. He couldn't do the Senior Bowl, couldn't do the Combine.
Yeah.
He's supposed to work out here. Hopefully the testing numbers are what we expect because he looks like a really good athlete on film.
Sure does.
So and he's pretty natural. For a guy that's a former running back, pretty natural in the slot.
Yep.
He did a nice job for Baylor.
He sure did.
Would love to draft him at receiver. Would probably not so much at running back. Michael says, speaking of receiver, will the draft affect Allen Hurns? What do you see happening with him?
He's one of the most. Well, okay, you asked the question. What you cover this football team full time? Tell me about Allen Hurns.
I think I've said this a million times. I think the thing people have to remember with Allen Hurns is these are not black and white, like strictly stats, strictly ability. Like Allen Hurns, he's a great dude with a great attitude and a great work ethic. I keep billing him as the guy who's willing to do all the stuff that wide receivers don't like to do. He's willing to block for you. He's willing to handle that type of stuff in a run-first offense, and he's not going to do it with complaining. I think that goes a long way with coaches. I think he is a favorite of a lot of people in this building, and I think that counts for a lot. Having said that, he is making a pretty hefty salary for a guy who you're talking about as like your fourth wide receiver. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. I think Allen Hurns is going to be on this team in 2019, but if it falls to where the Cowboys are, if they draft a wide receiver, particularly if they draft one with a somewhat large pick, if they draft a guy in the fourth round, I think that could spell trouble for him. But as of right now, I think he's beloved here. I think he's versatile. He can play in the slot. He can play outside. He can block. He's a good locker room guy.
Right.
So I lean toward thinking he'll be here. But if they draft a wide receiver in rounds 2 through 4, 5, then I think that's something to watch.
Other than the top 3, everybody's pretty much on notice, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got what? You got Coop, you got Gallup, and you have Cobb who are going to be here, and then after that, you can't 100% sell me on anybody,
right?
So I think that's something to watch.
From the Periscope, Dane D. Cyber, I think I say that right. Which is deeper in this draft class? The safety, the cornerback, the linebacker. And also, interior offensive line seems to be deeper than tackle. That's the question. Deeper of safety, cornerback, linebacker. You want to rank those 1 through 3, if you can.
Corner, safety, linebacker.
Okay.
Probably be my guess.
Okay, and then is it the interior offensive line deeper than the tackles?
You could make that argument. I think tackle is clearly better at the top in terms of being top. It's top-heavy position.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad tackle group. But I think the guards, we might not have a first-round guard this year, but I do think
that a first-round center.
We could have 2 first-round centers.
2 first-round centers, yeah.
But I don't know. I think I would say it's pretty even. I think tackle and guard is both pretty average in terms of overall depth. After you get past the first 2 rounds. Guys that you can find later on, like at guard, I really like Dieter if I can get him in the 3rd or 4th.
Sure.
My guy Drew Forbes from Southern Eastern Missouri, non-combine guy. I like him in the 4th or 5th. So I think the guard position does stretch a little bit if you don't get your guy early.
Gotcha. Okay. Dave, I'm going to take this thing to break because unless you got a really good one there. I know they're all good, but I want to give time for me to try and trade around here a little bit.
No offense to our remaining questions, but let's give ourselves some time.
All right, let's give ourselves some time. I think people will be interested. Listen, thanks to everybody out there that sent in their question. Thanks to everybody on Periscope that fired a question at me as well. When we return, Brian's going to try and, once again, blow your mind. Take care.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a... thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup, and now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper Soft Coolers at OtterBox.com.
While a player could look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the DallasCowboys.com Draft Show.
The Cowboys are on the clock.
We're back here in the SWBC Mortgage Studios. Brian Broaddus, Dane Brugler, David Hellman, Kent Garrison, executive producing. Want to just kind of give you an idea as you see the copy, the cover in front of me right there. For our
we got it all covered with this
Star,
thing.
Yeah, we got our Miller Lite sponsors, and we got our Star Magazine cover right there.
I see running backs, I see tight ends, I see safeties, I see receivers, I see Kyler Murray. I don't think he's going to be here.
Yeah, we got it all covered for you.
He's from Dallas, though.
Yeah, so that's our Star Magazine, the draft edition. We've added more players to it, more in depth. As far as some of my evaluations of the players. So if you will, please check that out. We're going to be tweeting about that, talking about DallasCowboys.com. We'll have it up for you. That's due next week. Really, the first week. We go to print tomorrow, and then they're telling me next week this thing will be up, and then we can start selling it.
It's here, fellas.
It's very close.
Real deal draft season now.
That's right. And then Dane Brugler has his Beast available. If you go to his... Yeah, the Beast is back. If you go to Dane's Twitter account, DP Brugler, all the information for the Beast is there for you. He'll probably pin it to how you can order it and get it. So make sure you check out. If you want the Beast, go to Dane's Twitter account.
Working on it day and night to get it finished. So hopefully here in the next week or so, get it finished.
Yeah, if you know anything about that, you've got to have that. But again, the Dallas Cowboys, we've got our Star Magazine edition coming out likely next week. So make sure you check that out. Okay, as we speak, I'm looking at, how do we feel about the way that the players were at 258? Do we feel good about the list of guys that were there at that spot? Did we feel like we were reaching for guys?
Real quick. So we didn't cover tight end. Can we just throw out? I mean, is there a list there that we feel all right about? I don't really think they would draft the tight end at 58, but I mean,
bringing in Jay Sternberger for 30 visits.
Yeah, Sternberger's for a 30 visit.
58 a little too rich, or just right? Or is it it's the classic, like, if you want him, you got to get him
at 58. You're not going to get him at 90.
Nope, you're not going to get him at 90.
So, Sternberger. Anybody else jump out at you?
Not a tight end. I mean,
at 58?
Nah.
No. Not really.
So that's the one.
Yeah. If like, again, Irv Smith. I mean,
he's gone. Yeah. Okay, he's gone. Fant's gone.
Let me ask you this: of Irv Smith, or one of those safeties that we were talking about, wrapping those, who's got a better chance of getting close to enough to you to make a trade up?
I'm not trading up for a tight end. Gross. just vomit everywhere. No.
Okay, I'm just saying. Just give me the name. Give me a name. Give me who is going to be there of those second round guys we just talked. Here I'm trying to trade back. I'm trying to have a segment of that.
Sorry, we're getting derailed.
You derailed us.
I would only do that for Noah Fant because I think he's a special combination of.
Who gets close, Dane?
That's tough. I don't know. I would say probably Abram, just because he's not a premier guy in coverage, you know, and so. You can find run and hit safeties later in the draft.
Okay.
So I would say maybe it'd be Abram.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be shocked if it was Irv Smith either.
Okay.
But any of those three falling out of the top 40, 45, no.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. All right, let's try and trade this thing back then.
Yeah, now that we've covered.
Well, now you've killed everybody's dream, Dave.
I'm sorry.
Dane. Dallas currently holds 258. There's 3 spots I want to get to here if I can. I'll go through these if you want to follow along.
So if we're setting the hypothetical here.
This is all hypothetical.
We're picking at 58 and think back to 2016, at pick 56.
Yeah.
The last of the dudes we love is just gone.
Yeah, I mean, we
evaporates in thin air.
We get somebody trades right, or somebody takes a player right in front of us.
Zach Allen goes pick 56.
I named all those guys in front of you. Philadelphia at 53. They have a knack for doing that.
They sure
Philadelphia,
do.
Houston twice at 54-55. New England, no telling what they're going to do.
Yeah. They're going to take Irv Smith right there, and everybody's going to flip out.
Oh, no,
he won't be. I know.
Noah Fant's going to follow him in the first round.
And then,
I know he is.
And then Philadelphia, exactly. And then Philadelphia is right ahead of you at 57. Okay, so we're thinking about this. If we want to back out of there, if we can back out, there's a couple spots I'd like to land. Can I interest you in Kansas City at 261? Okay, now they've got a couple of spots there. 261 and 263 are spots there that I think that maybe you can get back. Okay,
if you're following along at home, the 2 is the round. By the way, I assume you can put that together, but Brian forgets that everybody's a scout.
I do that. My bad. When I do say the number, the first number is the round. The second number is the pick. Okay, 261 and 263 are currently owned by the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs don't hold a 4th-round pick, but they hold pick 393 and 168. Okay? Would you be, knowing that they don't have a 4th?
392.
Yes.
They're 392.
392?
Yeah. It's one pick in front. You were close.
Wait, hang on here. 392. I thought 392 is the Chargers. Am I one pick off?
You're one pick off, yeah.
On that one, or
Chiefs
all of
are
them?
92, the Chargers are 91, Jets are 93. It's same difference.
Okay, well then, talk to me about that though. Talk to me about what's going on with that in Kansas City. Are you interested in trading back?
I love the plausibility of this because the Kansas City Chiefs don't have a pass rusher. So what makes teams go up? It's usually impact players, right?
Okay.
Right. So D Ford's off to San Francisco, Justin Houston's off to Indy. It's a long shot. Well, maybe not a long shot, but okay, I don't know. Who's a guy if Anthony Nelson is sliding there, or
that seems like kind of a guy that they would look at, wouldn't they?
Or a 3-4 guy that they like.
What are they going to give up to go trade up?
Well, I'm trying to get that 3rd-round pick from them. Again, the number on that is
393.
393.
I'm sorry, 392. You threw me off.
Yeah, 392. 392. Okay. So
is that plausible to think that a team is going to give up their 3rd-round pick?
If they don't have a 4th-round pick and they're trying to get a player, and they've got two 2nd-round picks.
Right. They're going to move up 3 spots, give a 3rd for 3 spots?
That seems awfully ambitious.
I don't think it's ambitious, again, because they don't have a 4th-round pick.
But wouldn't that make them even less likely? Because they're like, if we do this deal, we don't pick again until
they've got 2 2nd-round picks.
Yeah, and by the way, that extra 2nd-round pick is from the trade to the Rams,
right?
Marcus Peters trade.
Marcus Peters trade, right?
It seems hard for me to believe that they're going to give up a 3rd-round pick to essentially move 3 spots.
I tend to agree.
Okay, then so Kansas City, you'd say, would probably not be a trading partner with you then, right?
What? No, I didn't say that. They just would you be willing to do that deal for an extra 5th? Cowboys don't have a 5th right now, or do they not? They don't have a 6th, so you could get an extra 5th.
Yeah,
Is that not enough?
I mean,
I'm going to try and hold them for that 3.
Not for 3 spots. I don't think it's happening.
is getting an extra fifth to move down 3 spots a worthwhile trade? You run the risk of losing a guy.
Yeah, if you feel good about who's there, like if there's just a handful of guys that are kind of on the similar level for you.
Like, well, you're just one of them will still be there when we pick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and you just might not love anybody at that point, which is certainly possible. At 58, you might not love anybody of any of your options.
So is there enough depth in the draft to say, okay, we'll take that 5th round pick? See, I was trying to get that third to kind of get it where ours was at 91.
You can't predict this stuff to a T because, again, everybody remembers the Cowboys only got a third to drop to 31.
That was a blown.
It was awful.
That was a blown number. They should have got a 2 out of that.
Yeah, which, I would expect the Chiefs to be smarter than that, but you never know. Like, if the guy, reminds me of the DeMarcus Lawrence thing. Like, if the last guy that they have identified as somebody who can come in and rush the passer is sitting there, maybe they would give up a 3, but you can't bank on that.
No, I'm just saying there's a possibility because I'm going to Kansas City because they've got 2 2s. And sometimes if you're there, you're thinking, well, we could just pick our guy here and we could turn around and pick another guy 4-5 spots later.
I think
just as quality for moving up, maybe getting ahead of somebody here.
I think you're being awfully ambitious with what you think they'd be willing to give up.
Okay, how about New England then?
New England will be interesting because they have
Dave, you have New England's numbers, and I'm now paranoid about the sheet that I used here from Lee. Okay, I have New England at 264. Am I correct about that?
And they also pick at 256. So they're going to pick a player at 56.
256, 264. 373. 39. God, screw the Patriots, man.
Okay, and
397, 3101. They picked freaking. Oh, they picked twice in the second and 3 times in the third. They're the worst.
Okay, so now New England. Okay, we interested in any of that?
I'm interested in all of their picks.
Which pick would you like to try and get from New England then if you're going back to 264? Which pick would you? You said it 373, 397, 3101.
I demand one of those 3rd round comp picks. They have 97 and 101. I'm dropping what's that? I'm dropping 6 spots, 5 spots.
I'd be comfortable getting 101 for that.
Yeah.
Okay, 6 spots for 101.
And I'm saying
we're not interested in trying once again for 73.
No, I don't think that's realistic.
Bill Belichick wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Do you think he would give up 101?
I think that's more realistic, yeah.
They also have 134 because apparently they have every pick in this draft.
That's right. They have 134. That's a 4th round pick.
Is that worthwhile? See, I'm
taking 101. I'm taking 97 if I can get it.
I think obviously you would prefer to have the 3rd, but okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 spots. You're trading 6 spots. I think it's way more likely you get pick 134 out of that. Just in terms of like the value chart. I think it's more likely you could get that pick.
Yeah, but let me throw something at you. I'm Bill Belichick. I want to get up from 64 up to 58. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots.
Right.
What if I don't want to get my comp picks, okay?
Okay.
But what I'm going to do, I'm going to offer you is I'm going to trade you, I'm going to give you 64 and 373 for 58 and 90. So basically, you're switching
swapping
spots.
There you go.
Spots in the 2nd and 3rd round. So you're moving back 6 spots in the 2nd round,
right?
But in the 3rd round, you're moving up like 15.
17, 16.
Right. So would you rather have? Basically, what I'm asking is, would you rather have 58 and 90 or 64 and 73?
You know what?
Why do the Patriots want to do that?
They want someone really bad at 58.
I'm in. Give me a player. Sure, give me a player at 64 and 73. Absolutely.
So you might lose a player in the 2nd round, but you might also get a better player in the 3rd round.
I'll take because 90 just bums me out. Like, it's so far down there, and this is.
But you were cheerleading for 101.
I was. Well, that's a straight swap. That's an
additional pick.
Yeah, you're not giving anything up, and like if you're doing a swap like this, I think it makes more sense. I just pick 50 to 75. I just feel like 4 Pro Bowlers get drafted in that range like every freaking year. And that's just bias on my part. Like, that's my own head, but that's just the sweet spot, I feel like, where I want picks in that range. So, yeah, let's do it.
I think I'm in on that too, Dane.
I'd like to do that.
I don't think it's realistic.
I don't know. It just depends if there's a player there that the Patriots would want.
Yeah. I mean, you
At
could
58.
surely offer it, though.
Oh, of course.
If there's a way to get their 73, that's what I was thinking. And, but we were talking if it was just a straight trade, they wouldn't do that. Right.
Would you move back to 64 and add pick to go back to my point? You're moving back and you get pick 134. So now you pick at 64, 90, 134, 136. Oh, and 128. I'm sorry. So you would pick 3 times in the 4th round, all within a span of about 10 picks.
It goes back to is there anybody or who's there at 58?
No, this is all because, again, this discussion we had, we tried to go through the names of the positions.
What's your confidence level? And I'm not talking about the Cowboys. What is your confidence level that a player you love is going to be there?
I'd say it's a coin flip, to be honest.
It's not super high for me.
No. I mean, I'd say it's a coin flip for me, just like... Cause
okay, how much do you love Polite? How much do you love Polite?
I don't.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's a first-round talent right there. It's the same thing we talk about every year. It's a first-round talent that's got issues.
Aren't we kind of...
Are we over that?
I meant to bring this in on the first segment. I thought it was really interesting. Stephen Jones didn't try to smoke screen at all. We talked to him at the owners' meetings, and he was straight up like, defensive line. We're going to be focused on that. Doesn't really, and that's even, if they were to bring in a Robert Quinn or if they were to sign a defensive lineman sometime in the next month, I don't think it would change. I think they would still be looking at defensive line, which to that point, why are they in such dire straits?
Yeah.
Because a guy that they took a chance on who was a first-round talent is not able to consistently be on the field for them.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
Is New England so far the best option because of all the multiple picks they have?
Yeah, New England's going to be the best trade option.
Those guys are going to be bouncing around.
Yeah, we know Bill
weekend.
Belichick likes to move around.
Okay.
Whether he'll move up, he'll move down. And he's got the ammunition to do it.
But we're okay as a team here going to 64 if we have to. Again, depending on who's there.
Sure.
But is it worth it to make sure that we get an extra player at 73?
Not necessarily an extra player, but a better player.
A better player. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's the best offer, if we get is 101 and we get an additional player.
Yeah.
Don't love it, but still, that means I would have 3 players in the top 101 picks.
I think a 6. Again, the swapping deal is fun. I would love that.
Yeah.
But I think it's way more realistic.
They do that, though. New England's a team that does that. Don't they? When they trade, they kick them back a 5th or they kick them back a 6th.
Those trades are becoming more and more the norm, and I don't understand enough about it to get why. But, that was the Saints trade that they did for Kamara, I'm pretty sure, involved a swap where they moved up in the 3rd, but they gave, Yeah. That stuff happens more and more, it seems like.
Okay. I'm in for that. I like that idea. Okay, here we go. Dave, talk to me about Arizona. They own 3 in my 3rd round. We'd go to the 3rd round.
You just don't trust yourself at
all. I don't
all
trust.
anymore,
this
65 first.
They have
65. I got
first
that right.
Pick in the 2nd, first pick in the 3rd,
Okay.
365, 4103.
Yeah. See,
those are the big ones.
Okay. What's the 5th round pick there?
139.
Right.
Yeah, 139, and then the 6th round is 174. Is that
Correct.
right?
You are
correct. All right. Let me ask you this: would you be interested in going back to Arizona at 365 to make sure that you potentially could have picks in the top of each one of the rounds?
Tell people why you love picking at the top of each round so much.
I just like it because I think there's a player that you have maybe a round on their board. There may be a guy up there that you have a 2nd round grade on,
right?
And all of a sudden you're in the 3rd round and you grab that guy. If you have that, you're staying ahead of everybody in this in the way of so you're able to pick off guys that you might have. Those, if you're in the 3rd round, we got a 2nd round grade on that guy.
If I'm moving from 58 to 65, I need 103 to make that happen.
Okay.
And that's a valuable pick because
that's a huge pick.
It's the first pick on day 3.
That's right. There you go.
You get a whole night to have people calling you about it.
Yeah. Exactly. And plus just going over in your mind, okay, let's reset the board. Who's our best guy available?
Yeah.
They have some options. So, it's a... Yes, it's pick 103, but it might have a little more value than that.
Yeah.
But again, we're moving out of the 2nd round. We're not going to have a 2nd round pick.
Right.
So,
yeah, but I mean, you're right, but it's still only a difference of 7 spots. And if I don't love any of my options at 58, that's fine with me.
Agree.
So, okay.
But if I'm selling this to the Cardinals, I'm saying, I'm getting out of the second round.
Okay,
like, you got to give me something in return for my sacrifice.
Rank it then. You feel like the swap at New England would be our best bet. What the Dane's proposed swap, where you send 58 and 90 to
New England,
64 and 73.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Okay, that's a big one on our board. Getting 103 would be big on our board too to get out of that round.
Yeah,
am I right?
We'd have we'd have a really. So we give it back 65 and 103.
Yeah.
So we'd have a really early pick in the third.
Yeah.
Really late pick in the third, and then really early pick in the fourth.
And then we got our own pick and a compensatory fourth. So we have 3 shots in the fourth to do some damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 1 really early and 2 late.
If you don't have a lot of picks, that might be the route to go.
Yeah.
I mean, picking up that 103 could be huge.
It could be. Absolutely.
I still think, of everything we discussed, I think the most realistic trade is moving back to 64 and grabbing New England's 4th. I think that just
134.
Yeah.
Okay.
Realistic.
Yeah.
Not fun, but
realistic.
Yeah. I know you don't like that.
Yeah, I like realistic to a point. Music tells us it's time to go. Gosh, the show goes so fast. I can just do
played off the stage.
Probably getting close to time for 2 shows a week, right, Brian?
Getting close. Yeah, getting close to that. For my scouting buddies, Dane Burglar, David Hellman, Kent Garrison, I'm Brian Bros. Thanks again for joining us for another edition of the Draft Show. We appreciate everybody out there. We got magazines all coming out probably next week. Make sure you're checking out DP Burglar for his The Beast. He'll give you all the information for that. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care.